Hello guys, welcome to my podcast Thinking in Sound. And today I'm having episode 26 and I'm going to talk about practical strategies for mastering complex multi-stave organ music. So basically there will be really short free strategies, so this episode won't be really long and I won't take much of your precious time. So why do I talk about it, again, basically? I think because this is one of the most common problems for a beginner organist, especially for those who only played piano before that. Because, for example, if you were a choir conductor and had a great deal of dealing with open score, then of course to have free stave won't be a problem for you. But if you only played, let's say, violin, flute, or piano, and you used only one stave or two staves, then playing out of multi-staves might be problematic for you. So, okay, what do you need to know? I would say the first thing is that playing out of free stave score is easier than playing from two staves. Why? Because if you are playing on the organ and you are still using pedals and your music is written on two staves, then it's really problematic because you have to, looking at the bass clef, you need to think about which part plays your feet and which part plays your left hand. And it's not always nice. I myself don't like to play from two stave score unless it's composed without pedals. Then it's okay, but if it's supposed to have a pedals, then it's a problem for me. And okay, well, first strategy, first advice would be, work in a combinations. Don't try to play all the staves all at once, especially if you are a beginner and especially if a piece is medium or advanced level or has more voices and faster tempo and all that kind of stuff. Don't try to put everything together and to play out of all the three staves all at once. So work on your right hand separately, then on your left hand separately, then on the pedals separately, then put the right hand and pedals together, left hand and pedals together, both hands together, and only after managing all these steps, try to play out of all three staves all at once. And if you still have problems, then the next step would be I'll tell you all about it after a short break, because I really need to sip some of the water from our beautiful Secrets of Organ Playing mugs. I really recommend for you this mug, because if you will drink from it, then just imagine it, all the secrets of organ playing will come up into your mind after drinking the water. Okay, so now what if you, even after working in combinations, you can still not watch at the all three staves all at once? It's actually pretty normal, because it's impossible for human vision to follow all three lines at the same time. That's impossible. Just imagine that you would be reading text, newspaper, a blog, or I don't know, a novel, and you would try to read three lines at once. That's impossible. The thing is how fast our brain can jump from one line into another. So don't try to see them all at once. What it means that you really need to know at least one voice really well, and by saying really well I mean by heart. So it's really recommended that you would memorize at least one line. Usually for people it's the easiest to memorize the right hand. So at the beginning try to do that. And now you will have problem only with reading the bass line for your left hand, and pedal line. If you still cannot follow the score closely, then it means that you need to memorize the second voice. And my suggestion would be that after memorizing the right hand, that you would memorize the pedal line. This would be really helpful, because that way you would have only to follow your left hand. Actually, that's what I often do, because usually left hand gives me the most of problems. Then it's really nice just to follow that line closely up to the score. Of course, the best way would probably be to memorize all the voices, but it's not always possible, because you don't always have time to do that, to memorize your music entirely. But even if you just memorize right hand, believe me, it will help you, and it will save you, and you will be pretty comfortable at reading an open score, and three-stave notation. Okay, guys, this was my episode number 26. And if you want to ask me something, just send me your questions. I will be glad to discuss them in my next episode. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it a lot. And please, if you like what I do, you can buy me some coffee, and I appreciate it a lot. And I'll see you next week in my next episode. Bye bye.